second player along with Jack Lynn to get an injury during the warm-up here as well. So Paddy Kelly is back into the team, and already the programme is full of squiggles, but we are eventually ready to go. Conor Lane from Cork is a referee for today. Galway are going to attack down the board in a throw end against a stiff enough breeze, it has to be said. It looked like Galway won the toss as well and elected to go against it, and Monaghan, after a lot of changes with them side as well, have got the first possession. Dermot is alongside me. We'll spend about 5 minutes while they'll pass the ball back and forth in a couple of moments in a defensive shape, just waiting for the game to settle, to go through all those changes. But we are very much on in what is an important game for both sides. It's 4th versus 5th, but both sides on 4 points, and you see the results last night with Donegal unable to take any points, and that has pretty much opened things up. So you can really say this is almost in effect a shootout to keep Division 1 football next year. That's good little play there from Darren Hughes. He's skipped past a couple of Galway markers now, finds a pocket of space over on the left hand side, long ball over the top, but John Daly, of course, reads the game so well, comes across and sniffs that out. Now Galway looking for their first attack of the game. Come through the crowd. Peter Cook now gets it in centre back position, gets a pass over towards Paul Conroy, surrounded by 3, but cleverly comes in and it's spun down to the ground. That might be brought forward a couple of more yards. No, I think it will stay in effect on the halfway line. And of course, so many people that watched that and made that long trip to Letterkenny still can't believe how that last free didn't go over. But Dermot, both sides very much feeling each other out here. Galway on the attack for the first time, but it's going to be a cagey enough game so far because both defences are getting huge numbers back. Yeah,
it seems to be every team seems to be doing it now, that once you lose the ball you all retreat back. Monaghan are retreating, they've only one man up front, they've retreated the whole way back, and Galway have kind of done the same when they lost the ball. So a lot of changes. Interesting for Monaghan, Jack McCarran hasn't started. I just saw him going into the dugout there, so he's a huge loss for them also. So a lot of changes. Ian Burke must have picked up an injury, and Jack Glynn both in the warm-ups. That's rare that happens, but
it's not ideal preparation either, is it? We just watched Daniel Flaherty go through in a run. He gives it towards Sean Kelly, open country in front for the first time. Might have been fouled, but still bowls his way through. Shirley's foul, still going, drops the ball. Free in has been given. That's what Sean Kelly gives you, just raw skill, but that time he isn't afraid to put the head down, drive his way through. Ball looked like it's going to be bobbled away from him. It will be the first opportunity of the game. Paul Conroy, we referenced that point, or that attempted point from a free last kick of the game in effect up in Letterkenny. This one is a lot closer, just outside the D, pretty much in line with the left hand post, and it'll be Galway's first score of the game. But Kelly just gives you talk about mass defences, he just gives you that option just to drive through him. As we watch the St James's man now, Conroy, from the hands, drive it over the bar, and after 2.5 minutes of play we've got our first score. Galway in front by a point, but more of that is probably needed.
Yeah, it just shows how skillful Paul Conroy is for a midfielder, taking the frees. That really doesn't happen, and of course he would have taken them at minor level as well and won All-Ireland at midfield. So Galway putting the press on for the kick out and winning it back here.
Yeah, strange kick out from Beglin there, went across the daisy cutter on the floor and then was touching the ground with Lavelle. Now Peter Cook coming forward, Galway pushing on, encouraged to get forward. Conroy again chips the ball out to our Flaherty, who's getting forward a lot, is going to strike. This one might be short. It is short. Disgust on the Galway bench there from that opportunity, but the Salthill Knocknacar man just didn't have enough juice on it, and into the grateful hands of Beglin, because he made a right mess of that kick out a couple of moments ago. Let's give you that Galway team in full now with a number of changes, as we said. Galway do a big turnover though. We'll stay with this attack. Conroy now picks it. He's going to be scooped from behind. Managed to somehow punch the ball away. Great ruck there. Now Peter Cook is gobbled up. Again, managed to just rescue the ball. Gives it back now towards Paul Kelly. One of the introductions to the side that was named. Now Dylan McHugh trying to go back the right wing forward position. Up it goes now for Matthew Tierney. The first time. He's shot the lights out so far. 2-10 so far from the Uachtar run. Galway recycle with a John Daly. Almost can go at free rein here, skipping across bodies, and it's open up in front of him. Punches the ball down the line where it goes to call Sweeney. He loses though, and it's a big turnover. So that Galway team in full is Conor Geeson in goal. It is a full back line of Old Kelly, Sean Kelly and a Daniel O'Flaherty. The half back line is Dylan McHugh, John Daly and Johnny McGrath. The middle of the field is now Paul Conroy and Paul Kelly. Half forward line, Matthew Tierney, Peter Cook and Carl Sweeney. And it is Robert Finnerty, Patrick Kelly and a Johnny Heaney as Monaghan go on the attack as well. But you've touched on it there a good few times, Dermot. It is very much you go forward, we go forward, and now it's Galway's turn to pretty much put everyone behind the ball here.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of turnovers. There's only a few minutes gone, and there's been a lot of turnovers so far because they're just flooding the D areas, both teams, with bodies, and the tackle count is high. So there's a lot of changes on both sides, so it'll take a couple of minutes for things to settle down. Again, it'll probably give opportunities for players to see what they're made of coming up to Championship too.
Lavelle, one of those changes for Monaghan. Now Monaghan go long again. John Daly comes across, and for the second time, to huge applause from the decent crowd in situ here in Pearse Stadium, gets a round of applause as he picks up the ball. We need to be careful. Sweeney just cleverly skips past the challenge, but into trouble, scoops the ball away. Not the best hand pass in the world, but Dylan McHugh will be able to pick up the loosened ball, and he loves to get forward, and getting forward he is at the moment, and Monaghan are just running away from him and letting the Corfin man come through. It's another chip ball through, but another one into the sweeper's hand, and Monaghan now with Gallagher now, the full forward, retrieved, trying to break forward. Monaghan, has to be said as well, Jim, they're not in a huge number of rush to get forward. There's 6 or 7 though lads there.
And it's interesting enough that John Daly has cut out 2 balls into the forward line, and Monaghan's sweeper, which is Darren Hughes, who drops back from midfield, caught out 2 balls as well. So that's the way it is. John Daly, in fairness to him, has really made that role his own at reading the play, cutting out. It's the type of thing that I think his man has picked up, and he just sits in the pocket in front of the full back line, but he's done it really, really well over the last couple of years.
Rory Beggan from the middle of the field plays the ball on the left hand side now. Monaghan breaking down again. They're getting through the numbers. They get the shot in, and the shot comes over the bar. It goes. We've an equaliser here with 6.5 minutes gone, a point apiece. Just a bit of a quick change of play, just increase the tempo, and 1 point apiece. And Galway need to be careful of that. Donegal were able to get a couple of holes in the Galway defence. They had bodies back there, but got a shot away at minimum ease in there, which is probably too easy.
Yeah, I'm just looking there. I think it's Sean Kelly is down. He seems to be holding his calf, which is worrying. And you probably wondered, Galway are probably training hard for the Championship now, and could be picking up soft tissue injuries. Hopefully he'll be okay, but he seems to be rubbing his calf, so that could be danger too. He'd be a huge loss for Galway, but the game is very scrappy. The one thing, Monaghan are playing with a gale force breeze. It's a very strong breeze. You can see the flags here is blowing strongly, so Galway will hopefully just keep it tight for the first half, and then you have the likes of the shooters, Shane Welch, possibly Tom O'Culhan also on the bench there to come on and maybe see us over. But I'd say Pádraig Joyce will be looking anxiously here to see if Sean Kelly can keep going for the next 2 minutes anyway.
Well, he's up into a little bit of a trot there. Of course, maybe put a bit of effort there as he watched Sean Hughes score the equaliser here with 7.5 minutes gone. It's a point apiece, and Conor Gleeson for the first time, and he goes short. Sean Kelly might have done without getting that ball straight away. He quickly pops it off the shoulder. John Daly gives it back towards Kelly. No rest or reprieve for the Galway captain, but he's soling forward with the football now. Switches it over towards Dylan McHugh. Thankfully he seems to be running okay. No ill effects so far. Dylan McHugh very tight to the line, but loses the ball. A good turnover from Monaghan. Good work over there from McCarthy. Scooped the ball out, and Monaghan now coming forward themselves, and this time they are pushing White shirts forward. They're attacking. It's a straight challenge. A solo comes through, but O'Hanlon is still coming through in goal. He's made a lot of ground. He's eventually held up, but the ball comes back. Shot comes in. Have they got the angle? They have. Monaghan in front, 2 points to 1. Comes through the lines again, and just another run straight down the heart of the Galway defence. And O'Hanlon that time seemed to keep going and going and going.
Yeah, I think that Monaghan sat back and caught Galway on the counter. Their tackling is very impressive, I have to say. They seem like they've done a lot of work. They've dispossessed Galway maybe 3 or 4 times in the tackle, so it's something that we'll probably need to have a look at. I see, is it Daniel Flaherty coming out here? No, he's okay, but I would say Monaghan probably the happier the way the game has started. Galway is a bit scrappy so far.
Yeah, Galway had lost that kick out, but got it back, a ball touched on the floor, and it allows Galway just to reset and try and get back into the game again. Monaghan by 2 points to 1 at the moment, but of course Monaghan have the benefit of that stiff enough breeze, it has to be said, here so far. Paul Kelly now just inside the Monaghan half, back towards called Sweeney will recycle back to John Daly, switches it over towards Dylan McHugh. Galway playing keep ball at the moment, and it's very cagey. Monaghan just left one up top, and everyone else forward. And this is the different challenge now for Galway, because there's 2 or 3 sweepers there. How do they get past this?
Yeah, well, there's going to be no long ball into the full forward line, really, so it's kind of working toward the hands and just being patient, drawing them out, and maybe playing 1 or 2 through short balls into the full forward line. But I think it's just patience, keep the play going back and over, which they're doing.
John Daly, who switches it infield towards Colin Sweeney. Sweeney gives it via the hand to Paul Conroy, who pretends to go right, then goes left, soloing with the football at the moment, just outside the 65, encouraging Johnny Heaney to switch it over the right hand side, and that's where it goes, towards Dylan McHugh. Dylan McHugh now just inside the 45. Again, a lot of bodies in front of him, so runs backwards and goes back to centre half back position, where Johnny McGrath is getting forward for the first time. Patrick Kelly had made a run, but Johnny McGrath is still going with the football. It's open up in front of him, gives it off the shoulder towards Conroy, skips into tackle and just scoops a hand pass away. Matthew Tierney, it wasn't meant for him at all, but the Ulster man just put his big frame in the way there bravely. He's got clattered with that collision there as well, but that's just bravery, because Paul Conroy had not intended to pass it him there.
Yeah, Matthew Tierney has been playing phenomenal stuff in the league so far. He's really stepped up to the plate, with Damien Comer and Shane Welsh being off, showing that leadership. I think he's vice captain as well, but he's been man marked today by Kieran Duffy, who's the captain of Monaghan, and so he's gone out from fullback to mark Matthew Tierney. Sure, that shows how highly they rate him, but he did very well there. He just went down the ball that he probably shouldn't have won, knew he was going to get the hit, and won the free. So I think he'd probably take this one himself, so hopefully he can settle down and slot it over the bar.
Yeah, he's just getting some treatment over there. The physios are out, but he looks like he will be okay, and it'll be free just outside the 21 on the right hand side, so it'll suit the left footer as he's up on his feet now. And Tierney looks to level the game here with 11 minutes of action gone here at Pearse Stadium in this early afternoon even, Division 1 round 5 clash. Here comes Tierney, again taking his time after that collision, but he's going to strike it now off the hands, and he makes no mistake. Over the bar goes, white flag up in the air. 2 points apiece with 11 and a half minutes gone, and Galway now looking to push up on the kick out for the first time. Peter Cook is in front of us with his hands out, multiple players with hands out, as Began tried to go short, but there's dancing maroon shirts left him, and he does find a pocket of space, gets it off towards Ryan Wiley. They found a pocket of space in the end despite Galway's best efforts, and now they move the ball forward, but again Galway couldn't put pressure on over there, doesn't allow Conor Boyle to come forward. But now Galway retrieved, so Began is coming forward. He's centre half back position in effect, but there's nobody behind him, almost looking up, and just about pops the ball off in the end towards Cal Gallagher. Galway pretty much everyone inside their own half, as Monaghan now try and break them down. They switch the ball infield. Paddy Kelly is the highest advanced player, and he's still inside his own half. Goes towards Hughes. Hughes gives a hand pass off very quickly towards McPhillips. McPhillips switches it over on the left hand side. Galway through Finnerty, just putting a bit of pressure on, but they play keep ball out towards Lavelle. Lavelle now going on a run, but doesn't fancy it. Goes around Cook, might have been fouled. Tried to call the free in the end, but on we go. And Conor Lane decides that there was enough of a contact on there from Peter Cook. He had the advantage hand up in the air, didn't seem a lot in it at the end. It looked like it was almost begging to get the free, but here comes Rory begging to come forward and take his first shot on goal. It's dead centre. He has a gale of a breeze behind him. He's about almost 50 yards out, you'd have to say, and it's dead centre though, so you would imagine that the experienced goalkeeper, who's one of these modern goalkeepers that loves to get forward, will try and put his side in the lead. Short back lift, but he's dragged it. It's out towards the right hand side and wide. Had the contact, and you'd nearly expect him. It's a long way out, but you were so used to seeing him pot them over from there. Yeah,
that was 65 years out, and he got it wet. The distance was not an issue at all with him. It was just a bit to the right of the post, but he'd be disappointed with that. I'd say he would have fancied his chances kicking that over the bar.
Monaghan, their turn to put a squeeze on Gleeson, but he still goes short. It makes his way. And there's a high challenge comes in there on Paul Conroy. Got caught around the back of the head there as he went for not quite a hospital pass, but certainly a pass that was asking a lot of the midfielder there. Kind of Gleeson almost put it out in a direction to where Sean Kelly and Conroy are. Conroy got it, and it's got clattered in the process. It will be a free, and again the medics are out, and this slow start to the game continues with 14 minutes gone, 2 points apiece. And that's probably what you kind of expect. Both sides just feeling each other out, and not a lot of flow and moves so far.
Yeah, and particularly with Galway, with all the changes so close to the throw, and it's very hard for them to figure out, because I'm sure they would have done their homework on a Thursday with who's playing where, what position they're going in, and all of a sudden then you have new type, you have
particularly Paddy Kelly was like
Paddy Kelly, and
he's come to sit on the stand with us,
and he's replacing Ian Burke, so they're two different style players. Ian Burke is more of an inside forward, Patrick Kelly kind of drifts out the field, so they'll probably have to do a bit of moving lads around, but he's actually holding in around the 40 now, Patrick Kelly, so we'll see whether he gets there. Johnny Heaney as well is further up the pitch than normal, so it's it'll be interesting to see, will he drop back. Maybe he'll drop back in the second half.
We have restarted here, and John Daly sprays the ball out towards Johnny McGrath, who's been encouraged to come forward with the football. Daniel Flaherty's hugging the sideline here in front of the stand, but McGrath holds on to the ball, gives it towards Conray again. Thankfully looks like he's okay after that knock. Puts a pass on that encourages John Daly to come forward, and he's striding forward from centre back at the moment. Chips the ball down the line, but to nobody in particular. Everyone pretty much ran away, and I think that's probably one of those little things that you've worked on little moves like that, and Ian Burke isn't there all of a sudden. Yeah,
Ian Burke's movement is fantastic inside, and it's probably a ball that he would have picked up very easily. John Daly made a great run up the field and played a ball in, a forwards ball, but it just wasn't, probably miscommunication inside, but probably need to sharpen up in there, the Galway forwards.
Monaghan now coming forward, Galway putting the squeeze on, but that's too easy because Galler is able to get forward there quickly. Now comes towards Conor Boyle. He's been held up by Daniel Flaherty, but still Boyle is coming forward, loses the ball. He gets the advantage of the free as well. Ran into traffic there in effect, and gets the benefit of the doubt from Conor Lane. So again, Beggan isn't made his way forward. This one's closer to goal. It looks like Conor McCarthy fancies this one. It's just outside the D. He's put the ball on the floor. It's on the right hand side, level pretty much with the right hand post. Now scoops it up in the air, soccer style, into his hands. So he's going to strike this one off the hands to try and put his side back in the lead here. 16 minutes gone here in Pearse Stadium. McCarthy now with his free. He's taking a couple of yards with him, but strikes it off the hands, and over the bar it goes. Monaghan 3, Galway 2. And Conor Gleeson has gone short the last few. Been dangerous enough. This one, what's he going to go again? Looks like it's going to be short. Again, has the breeze in his face, which will determine things. Scoops the ball out this side towards Owen Kelly, who had made a run, but he's under pressure, so just puts the head down and solos forward with the football. Hits contact, scoops it back off towards Peter Cook. Stride and run kind of behind the challengers, so gives it back now towards John Daly. Monaghan retrieve. Galway trying to come forward here. Peter Cook gets it now. This time he's made it over towards the right wing position. First time puts the ball in towards Finnerty. He's first of the day. Finnerty gets it into the hands, punches the ball backwards, encourages Galway to come forward. Now Tierney comes through. Tierney has open country in front of him. Tierney strikes. Tierney over the bar. 3 points apiece. He's a player in red hot form.
Yeah, he's the go-to guy in that forward line. They're all looking for him, so his movement was absolutely fantastic there. He just waited and waited, and then he just sidestep and went and got the ball and slotted it over. Very good from Dylan McHugh also. He waited for the right guy to come on his shoulder and laid it off for a good score.
Even Stephen so far. Monaghan going short with the kick out. Oh, this is straight solo there from Desi Ward. Solo kind of bounced him on the chest, but he was able to pick up the loose ball. And Monaghan keep possession, keep football here in their own half. Coming forward now is McPhillips. McPhillips, first time in the hand, plays the ball down the line where Galway are putting a bit of pressure on now, but on comes Monaghan now with Duffy, their captain. Plays the ball in field in traffic. That's never a free. Fell into a couple of bodies there. Paul Conray is looking, going, what the hell, ref? Clever play in the end there from Jones. Beggan is coming forward again to strike this one. This one is a bit closer to the one that he struck wide a couple of moments ago. Maybe about 46 yards out. Bit more in front of the stand here, but still central enough. And you'd imagine this will be Monaghan back in the lead. And the cagey start to the game continues. Again, Beggan goes through his usual routine. Ball on the floor. Peter Cook is very close, encouraged to go forward. Here comes the goalkeeper, strikes it off the ground. This was just outrageous, with minimum of back ease. Looks like he just stroked the ball and over it goes with interest. Monaghan 4, Galway 3, but what a skill.
He's such a powerful strike of a ball. Like that was outside his 45, and it looked like he was chipping the ball over the bar. You'd wonder how far would he actually kick it if he had to.
If he really put the welly through it.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal power, but great score by him. Great asset to have in any team.
Galway went short to Owen Kelly. gives it to his brother Sean, and back it goes. The brotherly love continues. Owen Kelly now striding forward, gives it towards Peter Cook. Peter Cook now gives it back towards Owen Kelly, drops it, picks it up at the second occasion, very tight to the line, just about plays the ball in field. Jersey's pulled off him. It'll be a difficult free here though. You imagine Galway will have to work this one short. It's literally on the sideline. Peter Cook has the ball on his hands, but Owen Kelly, who is into the side for the first time this year, he looks comfortable on the ball. The ground is starting to dig up a bit there in front of us. Cook goes infield towards John Daly. He's advanced at the moment. John Daly still striding, passes the 45, still going around the loop, gives it back towards Dylan McHugh, gives it back towards John Daly, back to McHugh, through to Finnerty quickly. Finnerty dummy solo and is running around the wrong side, we'll call it, but McHugh gives it back now towards Conroy. Conroy will have to switch it. Not a lot of options in front of him, so Conroy keeps it, gives it back towards Tierney, just inside the 45. It's John Daly again, bounces the ball, goes backwards to Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly now looks like half thought about going for a run. No, says no, goes backwards towards Owen Kelly. Owen Kelly hand passes it infield towards John Daly. Now Galway looking to try and get a movement. There's a bunch of players in front of the stand, but the ball is over on the right hand side where Robert Finnerty now picks it on the run. He's been held up, so it goes backwards to McHugh. McHugh goes back towards John Daly. He's playing advanced in the last couple of moments. Now Paul Conroy, dummy solo. Looked like he won't go in field, plays the ball through the lines towards Carl Sweeney. He has to dig and bend for the football, gets it. Surely he's fouled. His man on his back. No advantage hand. The home crowd didn't like that, but Conroy now gets it. Still has to go backwards. Half at a moment for the shot. Now it's coming through the lines. Carl Sweeney has got it again. Sweeney goes backwards again towards Dylan McHugh. Monaghan have just an array of players back there, but they're just kind of standing there, nobody making contact with the football. It's back now towards Peter Cook. Kick passes it out through the left hand side this time towards O'Flaherty. O'Flaherty now driving forward with the football, plays the ball down the line towards Paul Kelly. Paul Kelly runs in field back towards Peter Cook. Peter Cook now coming through. Peter Cook running through. He's pushed to the floor. No free. The ball is in the scramble there. It's Monaghan into Monaghan hands, and that attack comes to nothing. Might have been a half a call for a free, but the attack comes to nothing after a couple of minutes of the football. Galway went really nowhere there with that one.
Yeah, I think the referee's been harsh there at Galway. There was two times when I think it was Matthew Tierney going through that he was actually fouled twice, I felt, and there again a foul could have been given and there wouldn't be much to be said for it. So the referee's letting a lot go, but you have to say Monaghan are very sticky in the tackle. It's once they get into contact, it's very hard to get away from them.
O'Halloran now switches it over and towards the right hand side over the head. We sent it forward, but it'll go across Bannon and it'll be picked up over there, coming through the lines by Kelly. Kelly now goes in field back towards Cal Gallagher. Now Gallagher, he's been held up by a good challenge over there, but Gallagher holds on to the football. He's been forced backwards. He goes towards O'Halloran again. O'Halloran now holding on to the football. Galway their turn to put everyone at home, and it's this cagey start to the game that continues. You could hear a pin drop really here in Salt Hill. Monaghan lead by 4 points to 3. They have the stiff breeze at their backs, not that you really know it, a bit bobbly there, and almost come through Lavelle. He's always been turned over. He's surrounded by Finnerty. Lavelle will get his free now. Advantage hand comes through. He's a lucky boy there, because if Galway got the ball back there, it was literally an open half a pitch in front of them. Yeah,
it is. The only thing is that there was no Galway forward up there. We've dropped everyone back. It's I suppose we're both playing a counter-attacking style game now, particularly in the first half for Galway against the breeze. They're dropping everyone back, just trying to keep the score down, but it's just kind of, everyone's moving with the ball up and down, so I think it'll be a tight game today.
Began goes short with the kick out, or the free should I say. The shot comes in, but it's a little dribbler, almost bounces off the... It looked like it was going to be a dribbler into Conor Gleeson's hand. He let it bounce. It took a skip off the surface and nearly bounced over the bar. I think he had to put a hand out in the end to stop it going over the bar. Took a hard bounce there, but Galway survived that one. Now Carl Sweeney plays the ball backwards to Paul Conroy. They're a bit slow getting forward, but the maroon shirts are slowly getting up. Paul Conroy's almost waiting for options. He does have an option on the right hand side over there, and he's going to get it back again. Galway pushing forward, just playing the ball across the halfway line to Sean Kelly, back towards John Daly. John Daly striding forward, running down the left hand side at the moment, punches the ball towards O'Flaherty. He'll give it back towards Daly, just outside the 21, back towards O'Flaherty, in turn back towards Johnny Heaney. Infield it goes towards Paul Conroy. Paddy Kelly's gone in around the house. There's a long option available here, but Conroy doesn't see him at the moment. It's held up, so he's forced backwards to call Sweeney. Sweeney looks like he's going to go for a bit of a trot here. Plays the ball over towards Dylan McHugh. Dylan McHugh around the house it goes now. We're in the loop and run is Matthew Tierney, and he's going to switch it over this side towards John Daly. John Daly loses the football and takes his eye off and has to sprint to get it and won't get there in time. Maybe sums up the opening 24 minutes of the game, Dermot. A bit kind of scrappy at times.
Yeah, again, I just think with all the changes that have happened before the game, Galway haven't really found that they're probably missing a kind of a ball when they're inside in the full forward line. They're just looking for that ball and it's not sticking in there. Some of the guys that are in there are probably not used to staying in there, and Robert Finnerty's just come back from injury. So look, I suppose if they can keep it tight as 4-3, there is a gale force breeze, and you do have Shane Welch to come on in the second half. And a few more lads, maybe Tom Muckelhan, a few guys like that can kick a few scores from long range. So just need to stay in this game, even though not playing particularly well, but it's all about getting the result today.
Yellow card there being shown by Conor Lane towards Robert Finnerty. It was a bit of a late lunge on Kelly Novell, and it's the first yellow card of the game. Monaghan have restarted. Ryan Whaley comes forward with the football, makes his way, I don't think it was intended, makes his way towards Gallagher. Now the Monaghan trying to come down the right hand side here with Sean Jones. Jones is hauled up and strikes with the right. This is another one into Conor Gleeson's hands. This time he doesn't let bounce, and he tries to get Galway off quickly. Ball backs towards Johnny Heaney, who slips and just about picks it up. He did well in the end because it looked like he'd gone away from him. Could have been curtains there. The Killala man holds on to the football, now skips past Desi Ward and still going with the football, driving forward on the right hand side. Plays the ball off the shoulder quickly, now makes it its way towards Paul Conroy. Conroy again, he's looking all that time for that option in top. There's not a lot of options there, so it's forced backwards, where it all goes the way back towards John Daly. And John Daly now striding forward, soul on the ball. Thought about switching over here. He does blatantly over towards Daniel O'Flaherty. O'Flaherty now in front of the stand, just puts the head down and runs down the line, gives it towards his clubmate Sweeney. It's Johnny McGrath even plays the ball in field now towards Paul Kelly. Paul Kelly now gives it towards Finnerty. Finnerty is on his wrong side. He's looking. Everyone has encouraged him to shoot. Gives it the way through. Now makes his way through to Peter Cook. Now backs towards Conroy. Conroy outside of the right. Oh, it's a glorious wand of a score. A badly needed score as well. 4 points apiece. A scrappy game, but that will brighten up anything. A beautiful score from Paul Conroy.
Yeah, what a strike that is from Paul. He's a beautiful strike of a ball where he can put the backspin on the ball. So he just cut that ball from the outside. It's a funny way he kicks the ball, but it's absolutely brilliant. Go win back the ball here.
Go win back the ball. It's Robert Finnerty. He's encouraged to get forward. He's Paddy Kelly on his left. He's still going Finnerty. Finnerty is still soloing with the football outside the D. He's been held up a little bit. Gives it the way through towards Paddy Kelly. Back towards... Oh, we're going to go for the free in the end. Had intended to give it back towards Paul Connery, but happy enough to take the free on the 21. Encouragement there from the bench there of that turnover. They threatened that a couple of times and eventually they get the reward there, but maybe you're being critical. Finnerty's just coming back again, but if he got the ball off quickly, it could have been a bit more.
Yeah, but he still was playing for the free. He was being patient. He's against a gale force breeze there, and I'm sure being from Salthill, he knows this breeze very well, and he probably knows his limitations, and it was a high risk shot, so he kept the ball and won the free, which is very good. So it's a good 2 point swing for Galway if Paul can manage to slot this over the bar.
Connery now from the resultant free on the 21, just on the left hand side, going through his routine, and strikes off the hands and puts over the bar. Galway in front, 5 points to 4, 27 and a half minutes gone. They don't squeeze the kick out at all. Totally retrieved. A different setup there. Usually so far to date they have put the pressure on, but this time they've gone back. They've allowed Monaghan to get the football, and it might be overturned. It is overturned. Good work by Johnny Heaney. Retrieve. Conroy is free again, looks for the football and gets it on the halfway line. Maroon shirts coming forward. Conroy has to be forced back, needs to be careful. Just scoops the ball back out towards Paddy Kelly. He's gone deep for the first time. Dylan McHugh, not for the first time, is getting forward. Now Peter Cook is coming through, running on the right hand side, jinking left and right. Comes back in field, is looking for a hand pass, gives it towards Finnerty. Finnerty, will he strike? He's so much time. Has he dragged it? No, he's got it. Over the bar it goes. A bit of a squeeze being put on here. That's better from Galway. 6 points to 4.
Yeah, very good from Galway. I think we're learning to what to do with Darren Hughes. Darren Hughes is playing number 8, but he's sitting back as a sweeper. So it's actually Galway have Peter Cook midfield now, not Paul Kelly. So we should be trying to get Peter Cook on the ball, which he has done. We're kind of playing it around, but have come well into it now in the last 2 minutes, and they're 2 points up. So very happy with the last 2 minutes anyway.
Monaghan, what have they up their sleeves before half time? It's a run there, trying to buy a free. O'Hanlon, he's not getting it this time, and Galway putting a big collision in there from Colin Sweeney. Oh, I thought that could have gone the other way. Conor Boyle is the lucky man to get a free out of that one. Galway bench tell Conor Lane they're not happy, and remarkably Conor Lane has the notebook out here. Not even sure that was a free, never mind a notable offence, but it's Beggan who's come forward. Now this would be a monster of one. He's going to go short, in fact. Plays the ball in field towards Darren Hughes and switches it quickly over towards Sean Hughes. Sean Hughes now outside the 45. Plays the ball in field towards Duffy. Duffy now being held up by Conroy. So forced backwards. Everyone inside the Galway half at the moment. As Monaghan switch the ball over this side towards Conor Boyle. Conor Boyle now kind of taking a run in front of the stand here. Galway very, very deep at the moment. It makes his way up towards Lavelle, trying to run past Paul Kelly. Lavelle is still going down the right hand side. This is going to be dangerous. He's cut in field. He's taken an power of steps, and he's punched the ball over the bar. In the end, it's back to a 1 point game. Half an hour gone here in the opening half. 6 points to 5. But again, it's just a little bit too easy.
Yeah, very strong runner there, Gary Mohan. He went straight in along the end line, and luckily enough it was only a point that we conceded. But all Monaghan players seem to be strong runners when they get going, so just probably have to stop that at source and not let them get up speed. Galway
went short again and held on to possession from the kick out. Now it's back into the hands, not for the first time, of a John Daly. Quickly up towards Sean Kelly. He's room in front of him, and he doesn't need second encouragement. He's striding forward with the football, still makes his way through. He's past the 45, plays the ball up towards Johnny Heaney. Johnny Heaney now is almost driving down a goal. Johnny Heaney punches the ball wide though in the end. He'll be disappointed with that. It looked like it was going to be an instant response, a like for like response, shall we say, but Heaney's fisted effort just went the wrong side of the post.
Yeah, unlucky. He did everything right. The counter attack was very good. Sean Kelly coming straight up the centre, which he does so often, but Johnny probably should have kicked that ball. It was a bit too far out from a bit of a stretch for the fist pass, especially against that breeze. So unlucky though not to get a point.
Mona now looking to come forward again. Ryan Whaley gets the football, plays the ball in field towards Lavelle, just about gets it off. Conor Lane was almost in the way there. Galway still have a bit of defender there. Peter Cook pushes Ryan Whaley, one of those where you put the hand on the shoulder. It's technically a free, soft enough though, but Monaghan get the ball back, and their goalkeeper Beggan has come forward. He sprays it over on the left hand side. Galway not putting any pressure on the football, and this allows Bannigan now to come forward. He's over on the left hand side. He's taking a run in field. He's gone past his man. He scoops a strange enough hand pass away, but it makes its way through via McCarthy. And then Monaghan, after all that, put the back towards. It's a long shot, comes in here from Desi Ward. It's a wonderful score in the end, all the way out the country. Desi Ward gone up from centre back. He had watched players in front of him go leftwards, go backwards. He got the ball, he swung it over the bar. We're back level again, 6 points apiece, but that's a fine score and shows that breeze you were talking about.
Yeah, brilliant score. He struck the ball so well, but that just, a centre back kicking a ball like that, I suppose that's probably the danger of bringing him in back. You're inviting half backs that can kick points up the field.
Owen Kelly is at a very bright start. He's going forward with the football. He's made a lot of ground. He's still going with the football. He's going to pass the 45. Encouraged to go forward. He's looking for options now, where he has Patrick Kelly. Kelly gives it back towards Owen Kelly again. Owen Kelly is taking a run almost down the goal line, punches it back towards his clubmate Cook has just taken time looking at his options, assessing, goes back towards John Daly, gets it at the second occasion. Infield it goes towards Sean Kelly. He just kicks the ball over on the right hand side and almost encourages which one of you lads want to take it. Spoiled for choices there. It does make its way over with Conroy now going down the right hand side. Tierney now comes around the loop, not for the first time. Back it goes towards Sweeney, back in turn towards Sean Kelly. Monaghan, everyone, it's split the pitch right down the middle. Everyone inside the Monaghan 65. In fact, nearly everyone inside the 45, the way this move is going to develop. It's Owen Kelly now trying to find a pocket of space, running down in front of the stand. He's making a good bit of ground. He's still getting forward. He's almost looking for options. He's still going down the sideline. He'll have to get out of there. He's down on the floor. He's not going to get the decision, and it's a free out. And he's looking perplexed, but he just ran out of road there in the end, Dermot. He had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, Owen Kelly's carried a lot of ball in the last 2 minutes there. He went the whole way up the field.
Just gas maybe, isn't
Yeah, just unlucky, I suppose. He was probably waiting for a forward to come off his shoulder. He wouldn't be confident taking a shot, and probably right not to, but he was waiting for the likes of Finnerty or someone to come on the shoulder and pop it over the bar for him, but it just didn't happen there. But you have to praise Owen Kelly for it's his first year in the squad, and he's really shown a lot of leadership and maturity to be taking ball on, so he's done so very, very well so far.
Up it goes now towards Cal Garler. He's very tight, he's been held up by 2 or 3, gets on the floor, rolls, ducks and dives, and there's a swarm of maroon shirts on him. Almost a similar incident a couple of moments ago. Now Conor Gleeson puts a straight punch, kick pass comes through. Daniel Flaherty does well, he's brave. Almost got smashed there by Hughes, but Gleeson gave us all a heart attack there. That could have been curtains altogether. Instead, Galway take a big sigh of relief. Up it comes now with Carl Sweeney backwards to his captain, Sean Kelly, via the boot, out towards Dylan McHugh. 3 minutes to be added here. We're about to start those 3 minutes. It's locked at 6 points apiece. Of course, Monaghan with the advantage of that big breeze, as we saw from that Desi Ward score a couple of moments ago. O'Flaherty now, centre back position, switches it out towards Johnny McGrath. Here's Paul Kelly in front of him. Gives a short hand pass towards Paul Kelly, who gets it. It's a slow labour build up at the moment, and Kelly, he can nearly cover a lot of bases with that, but it's Sean now via Paul coming forward with the football, soloing, aiming to go down the right hand side, gets it off the shoulder towards Dylan McHugh, who goes almost shy of the 21, then gives it back towards Sean Kelly again. Sean Kelly with the boot in towards John Daly. He's a look up, and there's just a huge pocket of space in around the D. Everyone's switched on either flank at the moment, where Paul Kelly is going to try and attack down the left hand side. Kelly now still going, Paul that is. It's Peter Cook in front of him, he's held up, gets the ball off towards Peter Cook. Peter Cook takes a lot of steps, but is driving forward. Peter Cook strikes. Oh, it's another glorious score with the right. He might have taken a step or two, but no doubting the finish there in the end. Galway 7, Monaghan 6, and no more than Conroy's a couple of moments ago. Just a glorious striker of the football.
Yeah, brilliant striker, but I suppose he's the right guy to have on Darren Hughes, Peter Cook, because he's such a quality player on the ball. Darren Hughes is sitting often, so Peter's going to get a lot of ball, and he struck that so beautifully over the bar, and I'm sure he'll be able to do a lot better and from further out in the second half with that breeze.
Monaghan now trying to get an equaliser here before half time. Galway by 1 at the moment, and Galway totally retrieved. Begging now, halfway line, soloing with the football, looking for options, goes infield towards Darren Hughes. Hughes will switch it over this hand side towards Conor Boyle. Boyle now will just kick it on the halfway line across to his goalkeeper Began, who's soloing forward with the football, being held up by Finnerty because his hand pass off. Is there going to be an equaliser here before half time? They've run into traffic. Sean Jones now coming through the crowd, gets a hand pass off, the shot comes in, the shot comes over from Bannigan, and there is the equaliser. 7 points apiece. And again, I'm being very, very, I suppose, harsh on them, but it just feels like another shot got off far too easy.
Yeah, Monaghan seem to be able to get through the cluster of Galway players a bit easier than Galway able to get through Monaghan. Our tackling doesn't seem to be sticking as much, and they're getting the pass off, but you often find with northern teams, they're so used to playing that kind of tight blanket defences against it all their careers that they're comfortable in them tight situations, a lot more comfortable than say Galway or the Kerrys or the Dublin, so they are playing to that up to that reputation today.
Gleeson went long for the first time. I think it hit Tierney's head and broke away. Monaghan coming forward with the football again. They've pushed everyone forward as they try and get a gap back in front of the half time. Good tackling there by Peter Cook on Bannigan. On it goes, the ball breaks out towards Wiley. He's held up. There's a bit of wrestling going off here between Bannigan and Peter Cook, but neither will let each other go, and not an inch been given. Everyone's looking at them, and the ball goes forward, and Peter Cook is given a dig back here, and this could be curtains. And the Monaghan faithful out on the pitch, they're not happy, but Bannigan was holding Cook back for about 5 minutes, and I think it eventually the Mike Cullen lad just said enough is enough and give him a little flick back, but this could be dangerous. Who started it, ref, is one of the shouts that comes on through, but there's definitely going to be a card shown here. It happened in front of a lot of officials as well, you have to say, and it's a red card. It's a red card being shown towards Peter Cook, and that is absolute disaster just before half time. Changes the course of the game completely. And I know he's following the letter of the law, but Jimmer, you're held down for a couple of moments. You're probably going to give a little bit of a flick back. Might be a harsh one, but Galway have a different type of team talk now here at half time, and with players dropping left, right and centre, 2 injured in their warm-up. Suspension now towards Peter Cook, who's sat in the sideline here with his head in his hands. An opportunity now for Beggan to take the free kick and get a lead for Monaghan, but it just seems a little bit harsh.
Yeah, that's a hugely significant event in the game, but I feel sorry for Peter there in one sense. He was being held down by the player, but he did go in with his knees into his ribs right in front of the referee after it. So the Monaghan player was holding him down with his elbow to his head, and when Peter got up, then he frustrated and I think he just kind of kneeled down in his ribs right in front of the ref. If it wasn't so clear in front of the ref, he probably would have got away with a yellow, but that's a big one, especially with Killian McDade now out for the game, been injured, so we're down midfielders, so that's a huge loss.
And Beggan with the free puts it over the bar. It's a big swing here, 30 seconds before half time. Monaghan 8, Galway 7. There is the half-time whistle again. Peter Cook is the first player just to trod down the tunnel. But it's been a big game changer because Galway just got the squeeze back on things, got a couple of scores in a row, and you were going to be encouraged in the second half with the breeze. It's a whole different equation now.
Yeah, and if you think about Peter Cook as the guy that was on Darren Hughes, who plays such an influential sweeper for Monaghan, sitting back in front of the full forward line. So now Peter is gone, so what do Galway do? They're going to have to put someone out in midfield. So there'll be a lot of changes. The referee's getting a lot of boos here right in front of us. Yep. But I can see Pádraig Joyce and Keenan Neal and John Concannon there. They're talking intensely on the sideline. What they're going to do, they're going to have to take up with something now to structure it.
Now it's time to go back to Pearse Stadium and rejoin Jonathan Higgins and Jeremy Blake. Galway playing Monaghan, and it's all level. Jonathan.
Yeah, it's actually Monaghan who are in front by a point here at the break.
I missed that
8 points to 7, and do have an advantage on the number stake as well with that late Peter Cook sending off just before half time. Is one that's been debated much and large at half time here, as you would imagine. Galway with the benefit of the breeze here in the second half also, but it's a big huge second half for Pádraig Joyce's side, as they really in effect need to win this game to secure their Division 1 status, and they're going to have to do it, as we said, the hard way. Monaghan, who appear to have made one change at half time, number 19 Shane Carey is out there. We'll get confirmation of who that's on for as well in a couple of moments time, and most importantly, Monaghan have won a free in here, more hard running down the heart of the Galway defence here, has been rewarded with a free but 40 yards out. And again, Monaghan taking their time. You'd imagine they'll do this quite a lot against the breeze, as they're streetwise, if nothing else. You don't be that long in Division 1 without learning the tricks of the trade.
Yeah, I suppose having Rory Beggan in your squad, you're basically anything around 45 yards, you're leaving it down because he's such a high percentage shot rate. But I'm just wondering, looking, who will Monaghan leave as a spare man? I would presume it'll be Darren Hughes, because he's so good at sitting back in front of the full back line. And interesting enough, it was him that won that free coming from deep. So he's one of the best in the game at playing that hold and that kind of a sweeper role. He's playing it from midfield today and he's dropping back, but he does come forward and it's very effective when he does.
Beggan now from the free kick, again go through his routine. This should be almost bread and butter to the Monaghan goalkeeper, and he strikes it high. He strikes it over the bar. Monaghan by 2, so the difficult task has gone a little bit more difficult, but a long way to go here. Just 2 minutes gone in the second half. Confirmation then of that change for Monaghan at half time. Number 19 Shane Carey replaces number 21 Fintan Kelly. Long ball out over the top. No, you're going to wait. Conor Gleeson thought he was going to drive it and goes short. Does drive it now up in the middle. It goes up towards Paddy Kelly, but it's Monaghan hands that bit on the chilly side. That breeze, we've yet to see any advantage because it's been all Monaghan on the football, and on it goes now with Darren Hughes. He just weighs it over on the right hand side, and they go back in field now towards Lavelle. Lavelle now will recycle out towards Desi Ward as Monaghan look to suck the life out of the game, but it's up to Galway now to try and put a squeeze on, even with a man less. Desi Ward now is going the wrong way around, but still making a good bit of road here. Chips the ball in field towards Sean Hughes, and then in turn he sprays it back towards Lavelle. Lavelle now, the midfielder, punches the ball straight and gives the 1-2, and now he's looking to drive through. He's been held up and it's been done to charging there in the end, and Galway surely that ball is going to be brought forward a bit more. Also, Galway get their hands on it now with Johnny Heaney on and kicks it backwards towards John Daly. John Daly now solo with the football, will switch it infield. He goes towards Sean Kelly. Just a bunch, you'd nearly throw a blanket on all those Monaghan players in front of him. Galway, you're going to have to find space here.
Yeah, we're probably with the spare man now. Darren Hughes sitting in front of full forward. It's difficult to play our traditional style. Matthew Tierney is in there, but doesn't look like you can thread much ball through to him. So, we have to be very, very patient and see can we work it through the hands and get it to a shooting zone and get the scoring lads on it.
John Daly now with the football, running across the halfway line, looking for options. He does get it here with Johnny McGrath, who's driving forward, getting a good bit of ground, still going, skips past 2 or 3 players, takes a shot. He's dragged it though out towards the right hand side and wide. The right idea, we probably need to try and get a bit of runner here, and there's nobody at all as we look out here, Dermot, on the Galway half. Conor Gleeson just needs to keep himself warm there.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Shane Welsh has taken off the top. He looks like he's coming on very, very soon. Galway probably need that sharpshooter inside, which he is no doubtedly one of. So he'll be on. I don't wonder who will come off. Be interesting to see, but great to see him back, and Galway need him now.
4.5 minutes gone here in the second half. Shane Walsh is stripped and ready to go. Monaghan holding on to the ball with a 2-point advantage and 9 points to 7. Big crowd in here today, 5,274 the official attendance, but they'll be looking to try and see can Galway try and get the football back here as Monaghan play keep ball. Back it goes towards Ward. Galway again, they've totally retrieved, and this is playing into Monaghan's hands at the moment as Began, the goalkeeper, left half back position, plays the ball down the line where it's Bannigan, who's looked tidy. Skips past, into trouble though, gets it back quickly. It goes towards Carey. Carey gets the ball down the line. There's too much room, it's too easy. It spins past Gallagher, gives it back through the hands, back towards Desi Ward. Delay the shot and turns it back towards O'Toole. Quickly through the hands to Bannigan. Quickly and cleverly switches over on the right hand side to McCarthy. McCarthy now looking to take a shot. No, goes in field towards Lavelle. Lavelle now goes backwards towards Gallagher. Gallagher strikes with the right. Has he got it? It's going to hang up. Where's it going to go? It's out towards the left hand side and wide. And Galway Brenner, but just wait for this. There's going to be, firstly, I was what to say, we thought it was going to be the Galway substitution, big roar, but one first from Monaghan, number 20, Carl O'Connell replaces Ryan Wiley. But just wait for this roar here, because after 224 days since that All-Ireland final where Shane Walsh shot the lights out, he's back in maroon and a big roar. He's since gone on to win the All-Ireland club title with Kilmacud Crooks. He replaces Patrick Kelly, and straight away he's getting a welcome, and he's standing up to it as well as a bit of pushing and shoving right in front of the linesman here as well. Not once but 2 Monaghan players went to give him a hello as he come onto it, and if nothing else, Jim, he'll get the crowd going.
Yeah, the Monaghan are, the ref should probably book the players for doing that. There's no need to hitting off the ball like that, but hopefully that'll rile up Shane. He gets straight into it.
Ball won straight away there. Great catch from Matthew Tierney, and again he's smashed on the ground, and again he's been held on the ground. Thankfully this time he didn't bite the bait. Peter Cook was held down for a long couple of moments, saw red and was punished with the red card just before half time. So Galway just have to try and keep the heads here. It's a free which has been brought forward a bit more, and Paul Conroy doesn't take down the shot at goal, goes backwards back towards Owen Kelly, gives it back again. Galway totally with everyone forward at the moment, attack versus defence now with Paul Kelly on the football just inside the Monaghan half. It goes down the line now towards O'Flaherty. He's running, still going with the football. He needs to get rid of it quickly. Took a lot of steps, loses the football, but it's been won back there, and it's a free in being given. Matthew Tierney, it looks like not for the first time. No, it's actually John Daly through the crowd there. Really one of those where you have to go for the football, but you're going to get absolutely smashed as well.
Yeah, they're the type of balls that win you games. Like John Daly showing huge leadership there. He knew he was going to get a big hit by going down the ball, but has got a vital free here. Hopefully Paul can slot it over now.
Connor from the hands strikes it, and he's dragged it to the right hand side and wide. It's a big moment. It would have been added to that little bit of momentum, that little bit of feel good spirit, but he's unable to take it. It still remains Monaghan with a 7 points to 9 advantage. Monaghan getting ready to get another substitution on here. We show 8 minutes gone here in the second half. And we'll just wait and see. But if keep ball coming back and forth, and if Galway introduce their sharpshooter, Monaghan are about to do the same. As Conor McManus is stripped and ready to go, he'll get a big roar. But the first thing, Galway need to try and get the football back here. Back towards Carey. It turned down the shot. The few Monaghan people that are here didn't like that. They wanted him to shoot. They recycle now with Hughes. Hughes now has a lot of movement here in front of him. Again, a lot of steps been taken, but Desi Ward is driving down goal, and a free out has been given. Belatedly, he gives the decision of steps. He could have given that about 30 seconds prior to that. It's another bit of needle coming through. Monaghan certainly are bringing the dark arts to the game here as the edge in again. Galway trying to restart quickly. And just a bit of messing going on there in front of the D. Galway will be wisely served to try and get the ball and get moving and try and get off the mark here in the second half.
Yeah, interesting enough, on the sideline I see Killian McDade is stripped down there. Hopefully he'll be able to come on. I thought he was ruled out with injury, but he seems to be togged and looking to come on. Tom O'Callaghan is another guy looking to warm up there, so we're probably with 40 men we're going to need 4 or 5 subs to see this game out. Monaghan are, as you said, the dark arts of the game. They're holding on, bringing the game into a war of attrition. I think Galway should try and stay away from that and play the football, because if it opens up, we've the guys to finish off the game.
Conor Gleeson now bombing forward with the football, still going, punches the ball over the top, encouraging O'Flaherty, but again it's going to be red over there, and a free out being given as the ball went over the Saltine Loughnacara's headman's head. A yellow card was flashed there towards Desi Ward for that bit of messing there a couple of moments ago. Looks like Conor McManus has sat down again. He was togged and ready to go. He's back on a bib there, so Monaghan just maybe trying to encourage a bit more out of their players on the pitch there. No doubt the sharpshooter will be on before long, but it's Monaghan who restart things again here with Desi Ward. Chips the ball down the line here to Carl O'Connell. Another substitution being introduced to the game. Galway yet to get off the mark in the second half, and yet really to get flowing with the advantage of that breeze. Of course, it is a lot more difficult with a man less, but Monaghan seem comfortable. They're driving forward with the football here. Bannigan now still soloing his way through, plays the ball backwards. It comes back now towards O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon will switch now back towards O'Connell again. He has so much time and he sprays a pass over here. There's options and abundance of options at that. Sean Hughes picks up the ball. Sean Hughes back on his right. Sean Hughes with a good strike. Where's it going to go? Gleeson gets his hands on it, and bravely done there. The ball breaks into the hands of John Daly. Not like the one up in Letterkenny, which they made a bit of a mess out. That was better brave, and he got man and ball away that time. Now Shane Walsh with his first touch of the football, those tan brown legs from away in the sun. He's driving forward with the football. Hand passes it over towards Daniel O'Flaherty. More movement on the Galway bench. I think we'll have a few more subs to come. Conor McManus is stripped and ready to go. Also Killian McDade looks like he's going through the last few routines of his warm-up as well. But Galway with the football now with Paul Kelly on the halfway line. Pádraig Joyce out giving instructions. Dylan McHugh now right in front of us here in the stand, plays the ball infield towards John Daly. Pops the hand pass back towards McHugh. McHugh now switches the hand pass in turn over towards O'Flaherty. O'Flaherty now soloing, left footed with the football, looking for options in front of him, plays the ball down the line where Paul Kelly goes backwards. Connery now does that usual jink and now is driving forward. He'll need to recycle. He's down on the floor, scoops the ball back towards Finnerty. Finnerty quickly through the hands to Sean Kelly. This is all in front of a deep line Monaghan defence at the moment. John Daly now looking to drive forward. McHugh is gone for the chop inside. McHugh is going forward, pops the ball back up towards John Daly. John Daly on the right. This might be short, is it? No, it's a beautiful score with his weaker right foot. Strikes it over the bar like a natural corner forward. It's a 1-point game. Galway's first score of the second half. But here comes Conor McManus and he's running straight in towards the goal. It is Sean Hughes is going to make way. Sean Kelly is running back straight away, and it just adds another dynamic.
Yeah, I suppose probably one of the cleanest strikers of the ball that I have seen. Conor McManus is in. He's probably at his twilight of his career now, probably his last year, but what a player to be introducing. But John Daly, what a score for him on his right foot. He showed real leadership in this second half. He's become a pivotal player for this Galway squad, and some guy you can rely on every day to churn out a performance.
Yeah, Galway supporters here in full voice trying to encourage to get their side forward into the game. A 1-point deficit at the moment, and of course one of those that is at a game up and down the land here is Thomas O'Loughlin. He turns 13 on Tuesday. I'm sure he's listening in. And happy birthday to him from everyone here and Galway FM. I see the hand up in the air there, but they'll be hoping that there'll be hands up in the air at the end of the game, because Galway need to try and get back at this. Monaghan are on the attack at the moment. Chip the ball backwards. That goes here towards McCarthy. McCarthy plays the ball in field. This is Monaghan looking dangerous on the counter-attack. The shot comes in from Hughes. He sliced it though. It's a bad effort. We saw Paul Conroy get a wand of a score with the outside of the boot in the first half, down towards that Bourne and throw in. Thankfully that one remains over on the right hand side, and it's a 1 point ball game.
Yeah, that breeze is tricky. Monaghan have kicked 2 or 3 balls now short and a few wide, so we have that advantage. You just hope we can get Shane Welsh on the ball and Robert Finnerty to do some shooting.
Finnerty is on the ball. He plays the ball down the line towards Colin Sweeney. Colin Sweeney has Sean Kelly in front of him. Sean Kelly's coming through on goal. Sean Kelly strikes off the crossbar. It goes, but over the bar, and we're level pegging. But it was almost the onion bag rattle there.
Yeah, what a brilliant run by Sean Kelly. How many times has he done that over the last 2 years? Very unlucky not to rattle the goals. I suppose, in the last 2 games that he's got goals, he's kept the ball low. He went high that time, he just went over the bar, but it's still a great score and an inspiration one the crowd have got behind the team now.
Game in the melting pot. 9 points apiece here. 14 minutes gone in the second half. Monaghan now, their turn to react. McCarthy coming forward with the football. Again, a lot of options in front of him, but he's been held up well by Owen Kelly. This is dangerous. Money up top. Gleeson does well, reads it well, and the second time in a couple of minutes picks up the ball. And listen to that Galway crowd. The ball down the line, and it's Shane Walsh. He almost touches the ball on the floor. Not quite the Aussie rule style. Now he's looking to drive past his man and skip past 2 or 3 players. Passes the 45. Walsh soloing down the left wing. Is he going to strike on the left? It does, but it's poor, and it's into the hands of Beggan. And after all that moment, that would have taken the roof off.
Yeah, brilliant run by Shane, but probably a small bit of rustiness or ball handling there that he may have kicked 6 or 8 weeks ago. Just dropped short, but great to see that run back in Pearse Stadium again.
Well, all you want to turn it into a contest here. We're almost halfway through the second half. It is, even with the man less, Galway are creating problems.
They are, and you have Killian McDade to come on, who's such an influential player for Galway. So Porritt Joyce is laying his cards to the mark here. He's not holding anybody back. He wants his full deck of cards out to win this game.
Monaghan now coming forward again. Galway retrieved. Monaghan play keep ball. You wouldn't notice the extra man at the moment, but a long way to go here. The ball in the hands of Darren Hughes. Darren Hughes turns down the opportunity, and at a standing position solos the ball backwards. They're trying to reset here. Not a lot of movement at all. Very static, very stale there, but Carey's able to go back to his goalkeeper. Beggan out. Centre back position. Looking for a run. No, holds it up. Plays the ball over on the right hand side. Encourages his full back there, McPhillips, to come forward with the football. Galway happy enough to retrieve. Shane Walsh is centre forward position. Everyone else is pretty much inside their own half here. And now it comes forward with Carey again. The substitute plays it back towards Lavelle. Lavelle with a straight pass, and there goes Matthew Tierney in a deep line position. Intercepts it. Plays the ball up the top. Go is the call, but Connor's going to pick it up. And he's smashed, and Desi Ward is on a yellow card. He's come in with the knees as the Conray come down. Galway bench going ballistic. They want the thing evened out. He's getting away with a tick. More boos here, back and forth. You wouldn't call it if it was 15 on 15. When it's 15-14, everything feels a bit more.
Yeah, very, very lucky there, Desi Ward, because he went in late on Paul Conroy, and on a yellow he probably shouldn't have done it, so he's got very, very lucky to be still in the pitch.
It still remains 9 points apiece, but Galway starting to feel like there's a bit of a swing in this game. This vital game, victory is so important here from either side. Sean Kelly down the line encourages O'Flaherty to come forward with the football, makes the 14, then cuts back. He's looking for options, goes back towards Sweeney now over on the left hand side in front of the terrace on the far side. Good scattering of people there as well. Sweeney now running into the middle of the pitch, needs to get the ball off, hits traffic, can't get the ball away, drops it cleverly and just boots it, almost fly kicks it back towards Dylan McHugh. Clever there in the end, didn't get done for travelling. Daly now got that wand of a score a couple of moments ago, gives it towards Tierney. Now Johnny Healy's going through on goal. Johnny Healy punches the ball over the bar, turned down the goal opportunity. He missed one with the fist in the opening half, no mistake this time, and Galway are back in front. And here comes Killian McDade also, he's out on the pitch, he's going to replace Paul Kelly. The big guns are on Dermot now.
Yeah, absolutely. Galway were lucky there. I think it was Cathal Sweeney that went into the glue that is that D area for Monaghan, and we have got turned over a few times going in there, so I'm sure the management team will be telling the guys not to go in once the tackle is there. If there's not a lad on your shoulder, come out and go around. But we recycled the ball, did very, very well, and Johnny Heaney came in a late run, probably a goal on, but happy with a point. I think Galway are opening up. A goal opportunity will come. If we could take it, it would probably see us through to win the game, but we are opening them up at the moment.
Long way to go though. 80 minutes gone here in the second half. Galway by 1, but they are down a man. I'm on the attack straight away. They're going right down the hearts of the Galway defence. Ball being popped off quickly. McManus turns down the shot, but I think it comes through. The shot comes in. It's under the crossbar, and Gleeson for the third time is brave. The Dulmore man has been questioned a few occasions under the high ball, but that's 3 that he's gobbled up there. And now Galway with John Daly just slowing it down a tad as they try and get retrieve. Monaghan now with almost a 2-man sweeper. The inside half-backs at the moment inverted almost as they try and cut out those pockets of space, because Galway are asking a lot of questions. John Daly recycles the ball, holding onto it, just switches the ball over on the left hand side to Sweeney on his own 45, goes back towards John Daly at walking pace. He in turn just puts it through the boot over to his goalkeeper Gleeson will hand pass it back. It's almost, Dermot, like they're trying to encourage Monaghan to come forward and break them down. Now John Daly's just gone on a run through a couple of lines here, but plays it off. But it's a dangerous game, this almost cat and mouse here.
Yeah, it's good to see now they're trying to get Killian McDade on the ball. This is the guy that makes things tick. He's fresh now. I think Go should try and throw him a few balls, draw a few players out, and then space might open up inside.
McHugh now gets the ball back towards Johnny Heaney. Got that point a couple of moments ago. Oh, it's a sloppy hand pass. He might have been fouled, got a hand on the shoulder. It took the momentum out. This is dangerous. McCarthy's coming through and he's cleverly pulled back, but he hasn't been held up. John Daly, what a good tackle in the end. It's cynical. They're saying it was a wraparound tackle there. Galway, they needed to be cynical. We spoke about Monaghan doing dark arts. Galway were clever though as well though, because straight away Heaney and then Daly, they just stopped him.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate for Johnny there. He went to fist past the ball and his hand was just grabbed and he only half fist passed it back and it was intercepted. But it's a yellow card. I suppose Johnny, with years of experience, was very clever there. He knew that if the player hit the ground, it was a black card, so he just pulled him, held him up and took his yellow. So probably fortunate enough to be still on the field. But you would expect Rory Beggan, though, he's right in the centre of the pitch on the 45 metre line, to strike this over the bar and bring it back to 11 peg a game.
Yeah, 20 minutes gone in the second half here. An opportunity again to draw the sides level. It's been that type of game, ebbing back and forth. But here comes the Monaghan goalkeeper. You would imagine he will score it. It's a good strike and he puts it over the bar. 10 points apiece here, 15 to go. A big 15 for 40-man Galway.
Yeah, we would hope to try, if Shane Welcher, if we could keep one or two more forwards up, because we're probably going to need 3 or 4 scores to see this through. Maybe Shane might say closer to goal because he's dangerous in there, but we need a big 10 minutes from our leaders now.
Gleeson out towards McDade. He's straight in. It's gone over his head though, but McDade is clever. He just waited on the floor, got his body in front of it, won the ball back. McHugh with a clever pass infield towards Johnny McGrath. McGrath now driving forward with the football. It's opening up in front of him. Back towards Finnerty. Finnerty outside the D with the left. Finnerty is high. Has he got it? He has indeed. Lays it over the crossbar. A big score. Old-fashioned Galway football. Drive the ball long. But what a run by Johnny McGrath.
Brilliant by Johnny McGrath. And again, some of the inexperienced players today have went into kind of trouble, but at that stage Johnny McGrath was very clever. He carried the ball, he waited for Finnerty to loop around, and no better man in Pearse Stadium in his home patch to slot that ball over the bar. So brilliant score there for Galway.
Galway by 1, 11 points to 10. Monaghan trying to cancel things out quickly and firmly they come here. Monaghan run down the right hand side. They made a good bit of ground here. It's Duffy, their captain, but he's been held up, now forced backwards. Galway looking to try and cut off the points of attacks. It's switched in the middle here. It goes to O'Connell. Another one, the substitute's been introduced. Fresh legs are going to be so important, you feel. And he's making his way through around the wall, Galway wall. It's broken out for O'Hanlon. He's driving forward at goal. This is dangerous. O'Connell, he makes a right mess out of that shot from the left hand side. He needed a bit of caress on the ball, a bit of subtlety, drove it over the bar. It's our 4th wide of the game and we'll take those all day long.
Yeah, we're fortunate there not to concede a score, but you have to say the kick out straight to Monaghan, giving them impetus back to them, but Monaghan are so good at carrying the ball. They have so much pace. Carol O'Connell has been brought on there, lightning fast, and they look dangerous going forward as well as we do. So you would sense there could be a goal in this game yet.
Mistakes left, right and centre either way. Thankfully that time Owen Kelly was able to pick up that loose ball and went straight from the kick out. Now Shane Walsh with a hand pass that encourages his captain Sean Kelly to come forward. Another quick hand pass over towards the left hand side. It's Galway coming forward now with Sweeney. Comes to take the shot, it's blocked. He's going to get back to the second occasion. Sweeney goes back towards Finnerty. Finnerty with the right from a standing position. Where's it going? Over the bar. Finnerty with 2 in 2 minutes has given Galway a 2-point advantage here.
Absolutely brilliant by Finnerty. The way he kicked that ball, it was like a golfer. He just put the head down with his right boot and trusted his kick and followed through straight over the bar. Absolutely brilliant. You have to say, Carl Sweeney, very, very fortunate. His shot was blocked down, hit off his head and bounced into his hand again. So Galway fortuitous to get a score there.
Back towards defending. It's going to be that type of game. Back and forth. Here we go. 24 minutes gone in the second half. Finnerty now is putting pressure on Beggan. Gives him a little push as he goes around him. Monaghan hold on to possession here. Galway just a maroon wall pretty much around their own 50-yard line, and that's where they're going to set up their counters. They're putting the squeeze on Boyle now. Boyle is very tight. Gives it back into O'Hanlon, who has pace. Plays the ball in field. It's an ever runner here with Bannigan, who's running down the heart of the defence. Scoops the ball backwards. Fortunate enough, makes his way towards Hanlon. He's so much time. Needs to get a shot in. Bodies dive. Has he got the score? He hasn't. It was Keelan McDade that just from no place dived at his feet, put enough pressure on, and it's out. It remains Galway with a 2-point advantage, 12 points to 10.
Ferocious pressure for Galway, and we're making Monaghan shoot from further out the field against that breeze. Unless you're playing in Pearse Stadium and you're not used to that breeze, it is very difficult to strike the ball over the bar into that side. So Monaghan are kicking a bit further out, and they're a bit wasteful in front of goals.
Gleeson goes short this time with the kick out, gives it towards Sean Kelly. Down the line it goes to McDade, who's looked lively since he's come on, and as usual just torn past players and is bombing forward, just loses the football, bounces off him, and then it's picked up. But now Galway putting the pressure on again, a bit too much there as well, and Galway retrieve. Galway need to be careful of that. That's a couple of turnovers in a row. It was 2 big turnovers towards the end of the Donegal game that were so crucial as well, allowed Donegal to come back into the game here. But with 25 minutes gone here, it's Galway 12, Monaghan 10, and the pressure on 40-man Galway. That Peter Cook red card just before half time, but Galway, no matter what happens, they're showing great character out here. They're certainly taking the fight here.
Yeah, it's a great character building performance here. Hopefully we can see this out and get a win. It'll be brilliant with all the players and lads that have dropped out before the game, but there's a long way to go in this game yet.
Yeah, 10 minutes plus. Free out is the call. What's referee Conor Glane going to do? Oh, he's going to knock happy the home support here as well. A bit of a scramble on the ball. It's probably the right decision in the end. He's going to throw it in. The ball is thrown very, very quickly. Goes behind everyone, and Galway get it in their hands. It's Dylan McHugh now. Half thought about coming forward, but goes backwards to the centre back general there, that is John Daly. Switches it over on the left hand side quickly, encourages Owen Kelly to come forward. He's done that a lot today, as has Daniel O'Flaherty. Down the line towards Finnerty, those 2 beautiful scores in the last couple of moments. The difference between the sides at the moment, Galway desperately looking to try and hold on to a 2-point advantage, which they weren't able to do last week up in Letterkenny. Can they do the same in home comforts? We've seen home advantage being so important in league action so far, but there's no questioning the importance here of getting victory, getting up to 6 points. A lot of football to be played before then though, but Galway are just trying to take the stem out of the game at the moment. Conway now, it's almost like they're trying to encourage Monaghan to come forward, but this is a balancing act, isn't it? How much do you go for it? How much do you sit in?
Yeah, I think Galway are 2 points up. You just need to keep ball, take a breather for a second. It's a high intensity game, and wait for that opportunity for one of our forwards or someone inside. So I think they're playing clever football here.
Dylan McHugh now on the halfway line, scoops a hand pass in field towards Sean Kelly. He'll go forward, he runs into traffic, he just about gets back, and he gets the benefit of the doubt, and this is a long range free. The breeze seems to have kind of eased down. We're looking at the flags in front of us here. They were blown wildly in the first half. Paul Conroy has the ball at his hands. You'd nearly fancy just having a swing at goal from this one.
Yeah, I think Paul over the years playing in Pearse Stadium likes this range for his club. I've seen him kick scores from this range or further out, even with Galway, so I think he'll be hoping to get this ball up and let the sea breeze carry it over.
So here comes Conroy. It's a long way out the country. He strikes it. It certainly has the height, but it's going to drag towards the left-hand side and wide. It's held up. Beckham gets it, and is that a free in? Galway going to pick up the loose ball either way. Sweeney has it. Sweeney's put it out. There's nobody at the goal. Here comes Heaney into the back of the net. Johnny Heaney rattles the onion bag. The ball dances around. That is a big, big moment.
Yeah, absolutely huge moment. How many times have we seen Johnny Heaney come on the end of a ball like that? His timing is just impeccable. The way he comes, he scored goals against Mayo over the years like that in Championship. What a vital score that is. 1-12-10. You would hope that will see Galway out as long as they can see the goal. But a brilliant second half for Galway. They've shown great character. They've the management have brought on all their trump players from the bench. So just hopefully now we can see this out and not concede a goal here.
You have to just watch and question and praise the work rate of Tierney there. But firstly, Monaghan trying to come back on the attack themselves. They've held up Duffy here. Surely that's a free out. He's held up in the choke. Listen to the roar. It's almost celebrated as much as Heaney's goal a couple of moments ago. But that ball in, it was a mishead free from Conroy. Tierney was brave. He won it. Sweeney had the coolness, puts it across the field, and then Heaney makes no mistake, and it's a big goal. 29 minutes gone in the second half. Galway 1-12, Monaghan 10 points. It's here now.
Yeah, and again, I suppose Cathal Sweeney's pass, he could have very easily slotted that ball over the bar, but he did play it in and went for the goal. They're the kind of goals that win you games. You could have slotted that ball over the bar and the game would still be in the melting pot, but you would hope 5 points up, that should see us through as long as we don't concede a goal on the other side.
Substitution, another one here from Galway. John Maher will certainly add a bit of physicality here. He replaces Daniel Flaherty, who has a fine game. Again, another one of these players that was only told in the warm-up that he was going to be playing. Galway, not forgetting, lost Jack Glynn and Ian Burke in the warm-up. Then they lost Peter Cook to a red card just before half-time. They're showing character here. Now to show a bit more of experience and a bit of streetwiseness here as the clock shows 29 minutes gone. John Daly back towards Sean Kelly, gets it back again. It's very deep. Galway need to get it out of there. Killy McDade, left corner back position, gives it towards John Daly, who somehow finds a bit of room, and Killy McDade is a willing runner off the shoulder. John Maher runs past her. That allows a bit of room now for Killy McDade. McHugh even is coming forward with the football. McHugh now still soloing with the football, gives it towards the goal scorer Heaney gives it back towards McHugh in front of the stand here in front of us. McHugh then cuts in field. Holding on to the football is the all-important thing at the moment. John Maher with his first touch since being introduced a couple of moments ago, just holds it, gives it towards Conroy infield towards Finnerty, gives it back quickly towards Conroy. Conroy has a bit of room in front of him. He has Sean Kelly on his shoulder. Conroy is still driving and then is downed and pulled to the floor there by Carl O'Connell. It'll be a free inside the 45. It's dead centre. It's just starting to wind that clock down.
Yeah, and interesting enough now the spaces seem to be opening up a bit for Galway because Monaghan have to come out. The space they're showing up around the D area, so it's kind of the game's in Galway's hands now. We're playing the game in our terms, which is great to see. So Galway are using all their bench. They're bringing on a lot of subs, which is good to see. It's all about a strong bench as it has been seen today for Galway, but it is Matthew Tierney taking this free. You would hope that he would slot this over 35 years out in front of goal.
Yeah, huge score here at the occasion here from Tierney, who's certainly been one of the standout performers in the campaign so far. When others have dropped away through injury and absenteeism, he has stood strong. Now Tierney strikes with the left, puts it over the bar. 113 to 10 points. That's a big score.
Huge score, and if anyone looking in seeing the score, they'd say, oh yeah, home win for Galway, but it has been a really hardly fought game, and it's only in the last couple of minutes that this bit of daylight has come into the scoreline. So Galway have done really well in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Sub there for Monaghan also, Kieran Hughes has replaced Carl Gallagher. Hughes ran straight in the edge of the square at the moment. Will he stay in there? Monaghan with Desi Ward, maybe fortunate enough to still be on the play, back towards McManus. Haven't seen anything of him since he's been introduced. Sprays the ball off quickly towards McCarthy running. The shot comes in again straight away from Hughes. It's a wild effort though, and he slices it and it's across there heading towards the prom, and Galway will be happy with that. 32 minutes gone, 3 to go plus injury time. Galway 113, Monaghan 10 points. Should really be it now.
You should be it now. Just interesting to see Monaghan putting the press on the kick-out. Rory Began is standing out at midfield, kind of in the pockets for Galway, trying to create space. So that's the way the games are gone. Goalies are being a pivotal role in kick-out strategies.
Galway goes short towards Owen Kelly, who's gobbled up straight away. 2 men on his back. He's no room. Scoops the ball away, but it's Monaghan overturn it. Galway putting pressure on John Maher, but there's runners over. Galway need to get bodies back. They'd almost pushed up from the kick out. Monaghan now driving forward with the football. Back it comes now towards Boyle. Boyle now on the right. Boyle strikes it. Has he got it? No, it's another wide. It has out towards the left hand side and wide. Monaghan are killing themselves here with wides.
They are, and again, that breeze in Pearse Stadium, unless you're used to it, it can absolutely crucify you. And they have dragged a few scores to the left hand side of the post, a few shots which have drained their energy. So Galway have done really well in the second half, but it looks like the fight seems to be gone out of Monaghan now.
Kevin tells me 7 wides for Monaghan. It feels like only a couple of moments ago that was at 4. Most importantly, it's Galway 1-13, Monaghan 10 points, 2 minutes to go. Surely a free to Galway, a wild boot on there as Conrazy tried to go down and pick up the ball at his feet. It will be another opportunity for Galway just to wind things down here. Big focus now, we'll see what we get it on. But Galway they've struggled. You think of games, even the Mayo game last year, the Armagh games, there's been a couple of those where they've struggled to see things out. This would feel like another little step forward for the team.
Yeah, but even when Galway have got their main players back into the squad, we looked a lot more assured. It's a wide ball there by Shane, but I think Killian McDade was probably the most influential player since he's come on, because he's at midfield. He gets on ball, he creates that overlap, he's the out ball. Even himself and John Daly down the corner with a high press worked each other, because they know each other's game so much, drew the players in and released themselves and got out of a tight situation. So it's huge to have all your main players playing in these games.
Monaghan now on the attack again. Galway retrieved. It goes into the hands of their captain Duffy. Duffy plays the ball infield. Galway sitting even deeper at the moment. Back it comes towards McManus, but he drops the ball. Then Soccerchild scoops away, but it's sloppy, and that allows Galway hands to come through. Called Sweeney almost got it. Monaghan though have picked it up and are driving forward themselves. They probably need a goal right now. A lot of steps been taken. The shot comes in. It's gone out, and it's another wide. 8 now. It comes on through. It's another poor shot selection. And if there's any subs left in the Galway bench, you'd nearly be saying to try and bring them on. They've nearly gone through everyone at this rate.
Yeah, Conor McManus there, he just looked a bit rusty. He probably got the ball, lost it, and a couple of years ago our sharp Conor McManus would have taken that shot on a lot earlier, but he kicked it harmlessly wide. So 4 minutes left I think in the game. 113-10, Galway full control of this game.
Comes Gleeson. There's a line of Galway players and Monaghan players in front. They're all running left, right and centre at the moment. Gleeson just arcs out a beautiful ball there to Sean Kelly, who picks up the ball. So hand passes it down the line towards John Maher. John Maher is encouraged to play the ball down the line. He's held up, gets the ball backwards towards Matthew Tierney. Tierney just backwards to McHugh. McHugh now keep ball. Possession is absolutely paramount now. There's another Galway sub who is getting ready. Cian Hernan is stripped and ready to go. But it's in the hands now of Shane Walsh on the halfway down on the left hand side. A buzz of excitement as he puts the ball at the feet and solos forward. Puts the handbrake on, plays it backwards towards Conray. Conray now will switch it over towards Dylan McHugh as well. I'd love to see how much football McHugh touched, because he's on a power of ball. Here comes John Maher, who certainly got on possession as well, so it seems to be introduced. Finnerty, those 2 big scores were so important when the game was in the melting pot. He's very close to the sideline, plays it back to his clubmate Maher. Maher back towards Tierney. Tierney still soul on the football, running straight across the goal laterally, looking for options, still running across the football, and Conray has been clever. He opens up a pocket of space, and now Shane Walsh solos and almost trying to encourage Monaghan players forward. Switches it over towards Sweeney. Sweeney down the line it goes, and Galway holding on to possession. It's a stray bounce there. Did well to hold on to the ball. Where's it gone? It's a battle for possession. Sweeney's done well. He's going to foul I think here, but it's been held up. But I think it was Matthew Tierney took a bounce. The ball went sideways, and Monaghan got back, and there's a Galway player being shoved to the floor here. Bit scrappy back and forth. Of course, it was about this sort of time in the first half that Peter Cook was shown a red card after a bit of messing around. Looks like nothing to do about nothing here.
Yeah.
But Hernan is on. He is going to replace Col Sweeney. Sweeney's had a fine game as well.
Sweeney's played very well, and you've been on about Dylan McHugh. In fairness, since Paul Joyce has come on, he's been a consistent player every single game on the team sheet, and he's developed his game really, really well. He's right at a forward possession player. Every time he gets the ball, he seems to cut into holes, and a vital player in Pádraig Joyce's team sheet every week. But you have to think with Monaghan, they haven't used the spare man at all effectively. They were nearly better with 15v15 because they had men back, and it was confusing Galway. But they'll be disappointed they didn't use the spare man better.
If you hadn't seen that moment before half time, you wouldn't have noticed that there was a huge roar here for Colin Sweeney as he makes his way off. It will be a throw ball when play restarts. Paul Connery is rattling for possession here. Another substitution taking place here. Darren Hughes is coming off. He's replaced by Colin Lennon. So another last turn of the dice.
Cathal Sweeney can be happy with his league performance so far. I think, if you think of Galway, the one thing that was said with Galway last year is that maybe they didn't have a strong enough panel, or needed to improve the panel. But you have to say, in this year's league, with the injuries, has given opportunities to lads like Cathal Sweeney who've taken it with both arms. So I think he's done very, very well today and in the last few days when he's got his chance.
With the ball scrappy there from that throw in, eventually it led to Monaghan hands and a Monaghan little counter attack. But Conroy says enough of that. He just pulled the jersey back, like you see in the schoolyard, is getting a default yellow card, you'd have to say. Another substitution. Ryan Monaghan is getting ready to go as Galway empty the bench here, trying to wind the clock down a bit more. Time is pretty much up. You'd almost say another minute or so of action left, but it's Galway with a 6-point advantage at the moment, and Monaghan try and dig out a couple of goals out of no place, it would feel at the moment. McCarthy now recycles back towards Conor Boyle. Conor Boyle now will take a little run at goal. Doesn't seem to fancy though, scoops the ball off quickly up towards O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon in turn goes back towards Brannigan. Brannigan takes a shot and it's off the upright and out for another wide. And I'll repeat an earlier point, Monaghan are killing themselves here with wides.
Yeah, they really are. But Galway seem to have used all their subs now. Brought on nearly everyone. Bare, I think there's a couple that haven't come on. But Robert Finnerty has been taken off. Brilliant performance from him. He has been injured with a while. Probably still not back to full fitness. He had a difficult twist on his ankle, I think it was, and he was probably minding it and wary of it. But he kicked 2 brilliant scores, one with his left, one with his right, which started the resurrection for Galway. And he's been pivotal to today's performance.
Oh, it's beautiful. Gleeson, long ball towards Tierney, who catches it and drives forward at the goal. Tierney off the shoulder. This is straight away. It's a bit too much though. Keane Hernan can't get his first touch of the football. He will get it back, but there'll be a free out given first. That was a beautiful old school football, long boom and high ball out towards Tierney and caught it. It was in effect as good as the score the way it turned out.
Yeah, I see the kids are trying to come on the pitch. It's great to see, but they probably need to hold their enthusiasm for another few minutes. But you can just see the management down there. I'm sure they're very happy with this performance, as long as they don't concede a goal near the end. Here
they come on and trying to get that goal. The time is up. It's battling for possession over there. Carl O'Connell is still going. Galway have just held him up a bit. Ball is lofted in, high in. Could have put that in around the house, and it's another wide. Would you believe it for Monaghan? We're now nearly 60 minutes on score, but there goes the full-time whistle, and Galway have dug out a vital importance here win over Monaghan. 113 to 10 points. It didn't look good at half-time. A point down, a man down. But you have to say credit to everyone in maroon. They stood strong, they ground away back into the wind and won it comfortably in the end.
Yeah, it's a real character building victory for Galway. I'm sure Pádraig will be delighted with that in his management team. Their backs were against the wall. 2 guys went just before the throw in, had a lot of changes made, probably a sending off as well before half time. So a lot of things didn't go their way today, but they dug it out. Great to see Shane Welch back in, badly needed to get Shane some game time. At the end of the day, Mayo's only around the corner, 7 or 8 weeks time. That's the big one. So this victory now will hopefully take a bit of the pressure off the league for Galway, and they can look forward to the championship as opposed to trying to avoid relegation. So absolutely brilliant. And just looking through the Galway team, then performances. Thought Owen Kelly carried a lot of ball, did very well. Sean Kelly was as ever brilliant. So was John Daly at centre back. Got a point, cut out some balls in the first half, touches a lot of ball. I thought Killy McDaden come on, was very good along with Paul Conroy. Matthew Tierney had his moments, was very good, and of course Robert Finnerty's